There are 100 star pieces to be found in Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door Remake, and this is going to be my guide on finding all of them in their locations, the earliest that they are available. You're going to be using your star pieces to buy badges from Dazzle in Rogueport Sewers, and you can check the map and see the percentage of star pieces that you've got in a certain area. Behind Professor Frankly's house, you can find one of your first star pieces by just jumping over the crates. In Rogueport Square, you can find a star piece behind the crates. Going to the back alley in Rogueport Square, you can go in the house on the left side where it is going to be having a bandit who stole the coins from you, and in that house you can find a star piece. In Rogueport Square, you can go into the inn and go upstairs, and there you're going to be able to find a star piece on the back part of Zesty's house. In Rogueport Sewers, you can find a star piece behind the pillar behind Dazzle, the NPC who's going to be giving you badges in exchange for the star pieces. Before going to the Thousand Year Door, you're going to be able to find a yellow block that is unbreakable at this moment, and behind it, you're going to be finding a star piece. In Petal Meadows, you can strike the first tree with your hammer and you're going to be getting a star piece. After entering through the pipe, in the background you can get a star piece in Petal Meadows. On your exit from Petalburg, you're going to be finding a star piece in the first bush. In Hooktail's castle, you're going to be able to get a star piece in the section with a yellow block and a purple block. You can hit the purple block so that you can go up on it and then use coops to go into this area where it is going to be having a singular star piece. In that same section, you can have coops hit the yellow switch, and this way you're going to be able to get another star piece that is on the left side. In Hooktail's castle, you're going to be having a window that you can go out of, and there you can get a star piece on the right side. In Hooktail's castle, there's going to be another section where you can use coops to go up, and there is going to be a plane section, but before turning into a plane, you can cross it and you can get a star piece on the very right side. When you come to the room of the Thousand Year Door, you can go on the left side and enter the place where you're going to be having access to a pit of 100 trials. Right behind the stairs, there's going to be a star piece. In Rogueport East, you're going to be able to fit through the gap between Trouble Center and Admiral Bobry's house, and you want to go all the way to the backside, and there you're going to be finding a star piece behind his house. You can find a star piece in Rogueport West right behind the pipe. Going onto the Pianta Parlor, you can find a star piece on the left side of it. You can find another star piece right at the entrance of west of Rogueport. Going into the Rogueport Sewers from the west side, you're going to be able to get another star piece behind this piece of wall. In Rogueport Sewers from the west side, you can make your entrance from the right side, and behind this pillar, you're going to be finding a star piece. Continuing on the same side, you can find a star piece behind all of this rubble with the broken pillars, and you're going to be able to easily get it, and you can see Dazzle from the other side. In the Boggly Woods, when you have this plain platform go up, from there you're going to be able to get a star piece which is behind the switch that you just hit. Before going to Flurry's house, you can strike the third tree from there and you're going to be able to get a star piece dropping by. You can also go in that same route, but before the pipe that leads to Flurry's house, you're going to be able to find a star piece on the left side of it. In the great tree behind this bush, which you can hammer, you're going to be getting a star piece, and this is the same room with the shortcut pipe. Before getting trapped in the cage with all of the punies, you can get a star piece behind that pipe. After getting trapped, you can pound the panel on the ground, and then behind that pipe, you're going to be able to get a star piece. On your way to chase Lord Crump, you're going to be getting a star piece behind this bush in this section with the closed door. In the great tree, in this section where you need 10 punies, you're going to be able to get a star piece by ground pounding. In the section where the punies were trapped, you're able to get a star piece in the blue cage by ground pounding. In Flurry's house, in her own room, you're going to be finding a star piece by ground pounding the floor. In Rockport Sewers, in the room with the pipe that leads to Bogley Woods, you can get a star piece by ground pounding. In the black chest room, you can get a star piece by ground pounding in Rockport Sewers. You can also get a star piece by going into the area with the 1000-year door, and here in front of it, you're going to be having a panel that you can ground pound on. In front of Professor Frankly's house, you can ground pound to get a star piece. In the back alley of Rockport Square, you can get a star piece by ground pounding behind Zesty's house. In the Rockport Square, right in front, you can get a star piece by ground pounding, and then you could go to the area with the docks, and there as well you can ground pound and get yourself another star piece. In front of Pianta Parlor, you can ground pound to get a star piece. In front of the Excess Express, you can ground pound and get yourself a star piece. In Petalburg, now that you can ground pound, you can go in front of the Battletoad Master and you're going to be able to get a star piece. In Petalburg, in front of the item shop, you can get a star piece by ground pounding ground near this NPC. You can come back to Hooktail's castle, and in this section, you're going to be able to get a star piece by ground pounding. In Rockport Sewers, before the 1000-year door entrance, you can ground pound, and here you can find a star piece. In Rockport Sewers, you can get to this part and go into the house, and there you're going to be seeing Wonky, the NPC, so you're going to be ground pounding in front of him, and you can find a star piece. Near the pipe that leads to the blimp, you can ground pound and get a star piece. In Glitzville, in the bar, you can find a star piece behind the juice bar. Right underneath the Rock Hawk poster, you can use Coops to get the star piece. In Glitzville, in front of the entrance, you can find another star piece by ground pounding. You can find another star piece near the telephone booth, and it's actually quite visible, so it's pretty hard to miss. You can get another star piece behind the bush at the entrance of Glitzville. Entering the Glitz pit, you can get a star piece after ground pounding behind the cameraman. Now that you have Yoshi, you can just flutter across the water and you can go up the house, which is right beside the Trouble Center, and you can ground pound on it to get a star piece. Continuing from there, you can find a star piece behind Admiral Bobry's chimney. In Rockport Sewers, you can use the pipe, and just with some basic platforming, you're going to be getting another star piece. In Glitz Pit, in the first floor of the storage room, you can get a star piece by ground pounding. Near your flattened buddies, you're going to be finding another star piece behind the boxes. In Grubba's office, you can find a star piece behind this plant, and then you can continue and investigate his drawer to find another star piece. In Twilight Town near the mayor's house, you can find a star piece. By hammering the bushes in front of the inn, you're going to be able to get another star piece. In the southern part of Twilight Town, you're going to be finding another star piece behind the barrels. Behind the fallen tree, you can turn into the tube mode, and there you can find another star piece. Right before entering into the warp pipe that leads you to the woods, you can find a star piece. Before entering the creepy steeple, you can find a star piece on the leftmost side of its wall. In Creepy Steeple, there is this room that you can enter by going into the tube mode, and there is going to be a cookbook right there and also a shine sprite, and you can also get a star piece behind that barrel. In the Creepy Steeple, in the room with the changing stairs, you can get a star piece by ground pounding. In Creepy Steeple, sub-level 2, with the help of Vivian, you're able to go to this place and get a star piece on the rightmost side. In the room with the parrots, you can ground pound to get yourself a star piece. In Keyhole Key, right at its entrance, you can find a star piece by ground pounding. Then continuing on, you can find a star piece in the water, and right in front of the inn where you can rest, you're going to be able to find a star piece behind the huge rock. After exiting this part from the right, you're going to be able to find a green fuzzy, and on the very first bush you can hammer and get yourself a star piece. In the area with piranha plants, you're able to find a star piece behind this huge vine. Before entering Pirate's Grotto, you can find a star piece in the water. In Pirate's Grotto, you can find a star piece on a tiny piece of island. In Pirate's Grotto Waterfall, you can ground pound to get yourself a star piece. In the room with a lot of barrels in Pirate's Grotto, you can find a star piece inside of a barrel on the left side. In Pirate's Grotto, in the room with the Parabuzzies, you're able to ground pound to get a star piece. In Rogueport Docks, you can become a boat and go to the left side, and there you're going to be finding a small room where you can get a star piece. In Cabin 004, you can get a star piece by ground pounding on the floor. In the engineer's room of Excess Express, you can find a star piece by ground pounding. In room 008, where the Bomb Bomb family is, you can find a star piece in their drawer. After solving the in-game quest, you're going to be given a star piece by Chef Shimmy as a reward. After finding the shell earrings of this Excess Express waitress, you're going to be able to get a star piece as a reward. In Riverside Station, you can find a star piece behind this huge gear, where you also have the green key. In Poshley Heights, right near the save block, you're able to ground pound yourself to get a star piece. Behind the chair of the House of Gold Bobs, you can find a star piece. You can go on the right side of Toodle's house and you can get a star piece. After that, near Penguin's house, you can find a star piece on the left side. Now that you've got the spring jump, you can spring jump onto the bar in the room where you fought Blooper, and then you could exit from the other side, and on a hammock, you're going to be finding a star piece. Right at the entrance of Fahar Outpost near the safe block, you can get yourself a star piece by ground pounding. Near the bush, you can get another star piece which is going to be visible to you. Before entering the village, you can get a star piece behind the wall. In the village, you can get a star piece that is also hugging a wall. In General White's room, you can go and get a star piece behind these yarn balls. In the area with the cannon statue, you can ground pound to get a star piece. On the moon with this rock that is blastable, you can get a star piece in front of it that is behind a small rock. You can enter in this room with the vent open in sub-level 2 of X-Naught Fortress, and you're going to be able to spring jump to the top, and going all the way to the left side, you're going to be finding a star piece. After getting the star piece, you can drop down from the second vent and get yourself the cog, which is going to be needed to power up the crane room in sub-level 1, and there you're going to be finding your 100 and the final star piece. In this train room, you should be having the order of the switches from left to right and then in the middle, and then you can use the crane to get the final star piece. And I hope this helped you. You can click the link on the screen right now to check out more Paper Mario videos. And with that said, I'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.